Hello everyone, I'm NeverDot. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be not editing this video as much so that I can get more content to you faster. Now, today, there we go, we're looking at this book. Oh, not that book. Not that book. This book. Whoa. Jump cut. Anyways, this is my third book in the Worlds Within series, Run Monster Run. I've taken a little bit too long to get to this video, and I apologize for that, but here we are. We're going to have a look at this book. Not all of it. Don't want to spoil the whole plot, but I want to show it to you. I'm very excited about it, and I also want to tell you a bit more after that. Let's go. Now, my book series is a continuing series where the story doesn't end on the book end. It continues on to the next one. I tried to write it so that they're all readable by themselves individually, but I do want to tell a larger story that hopefully kids, as they get older, will go back to and read the earlier books and start to realize that they're all interconnected and that there's a larger arc being told. So with that in mind, this one ends off right after, moments after the second book finishes. This book is feature-packed with some of the same things you're used to, like the copyright mushroom complaining about things and, you know, advertising for the other two books and, you know, boring recaps about the previous book, which you don't need to read if you already read the previous book. But again, I want it to be readable by anybody, no matter what they've read or not read. So, series continues with them in the forest, and a difference in this book. A lot of the books, the comments I get from the books, they are admittedly a little bit scary looking. So often people wonder, is this book appropriate for kids? It is, of course, but it does admittedly have a bit of a goosebumps, terrifying look to it. And I don't know, I kind of like making scary covers, even though the interior is kind of cute and adorable. But this book is the first one that's also cute and adorable, but it's also a little bit, it's got a bit more of a bite to it. So one thing that is quite different in this book compared to the other books is that this book mostly it elapses at night, because if you noticed in the second book, the sky was darkening every page. It was slowly progressing into sunset, and then it was just night. So this book is 100% ish at night, and that poses an interesting problem. How do you draw a children's book that's entirely set at night? Let's go look. Now, I don't want to show you all the pages of the book because, again, that's going to ruin the plot and the surprise if you actually want to buy it. But one of the problems with drawing at night is that there's the potential of A, not seeing anything, and B, everything looking kind of the same because it's all dark and you can't see anything. So my challenge was, how do I make each page individual, different, something that you're going to look forward to turning the page and looking at the next block of art. And that was a bit of a challenge for me because it's all dark and there aren't any light sources, so what am I going to do? Well, it's my world. I can do whatever I want, so I hacked in a bunch of light sources. Every scene tends to introduce a new source of light that can be different things, which I can't tell you because it'll spoil the plot, but there's red light, blue lights, neon lights, all sorts of things. The characters run through the world and they encounter a lot of different locations, which have their own different ways of limited ways illuminating the scene. And that introduces also another new artistic angle to the book, because with daylight books, you just shade it as normal. You might have a bit of creative shading if you've got trees above your head or something like that, but for the most part, straightforward, brightly lit. You can see things. At night, you're missing about 80% of the image. It's dark. It's not pitch black, but it's in shadow, so it's not clear. And you've got to really work with the highlights. The light shining on the edges of things is what frames the picture. And the way shadows dance across the characters is quite interesting. You can see here how we have a bunch of innocent looking villagers just talking about the daily gossip on Instagram. I'm sure that's what they're doing. And here we've got, oh, wait, I've got to flip to it because there it is. This particular art was a bit of a interesting thing to draw, because prior to this I had generally had one light source, or a large light source. It was in one location casting in a particular direction. Here everybody's got a light source and it's casting light in all sorts of different directions. So not only do I have to have shadows going who knows where, but there's multiple shadows overlapping. Light is on some of the shadows, so it gives you some of that interesting effect. And if you've ever been like at a campground or something, playing around with flashlights and the campfire going at the same time, you know what it's like with having multiple little people shadows scrambling all over the place. Another challenge I had in doing this book, illustrating it, was there's some things in this book that are not organic, let's say, and structures and whatnot that have to be drawn fairly accurately, and you'll know if they're wrong, which is irritating to me because I like drawing vegetables, because vegetables, you know, it's a carrot. You don't have to plot out its dimensions and get it quite right and align wheels to stuff. That's fine. But anytime you do have anything like that, then you start to gotta worry. This wheel should be the same size as that wheel if you're drawing a car, for instance, or if you're drawing a building. Buildings have to be aligned to follow perspective and whatnot. That's fine, but when you start to get a lot of it, and they'll have to work together, then it starts to become a challenge. And if your scene is too wide, then your perspective starts to show its faces, and then you start to have too many points of the vanishing points. So there was something in here that if you read it, you'll find it in the latter half of the book, but it gave me a lot of trouble and made me really want to pick up 3D design tools for the next book, which I have actually done. So in this book, I hope you don't shame me too much for my slightly inaccurate drawing of things that should be done in AutoCAD or something similar, but I did my best, and I'm fairly happy with it. Now, in doing these books, I do kind of want to target an older age group in addition to young kids. So I'm trying to straddle multiple age ranges, and there's a bit of few challenges with that, because in this book it also introduces not mature content, but fair warning for parents, there's a weapon in the book. So I wanted to handle that very delicately, because this is intended to be sold to kids. You can buy it if you're a teenager, adult, near death, whatever. I encourage it. I want you to read it because I want your fan theories. If you're older, please read the books, look at the background. There's like things in there that you might want to read through and think about, and post online about what you think's going on, because I would love to read your theories, and I want to engage adults and teenagers and everybody, young adults, and hopefully write older targeted books in future in the same world, because this is hopefully a launching point for a larger series. But there is a weapon in this book, and I wanted to treat that very carefully, so I don't want to run around with machine guns shooting people up, getting people killed in a kid's book, because that's not appropriate, and I don't want to set that tone. So it had to be handled very carefully. I have sold this to many kids, and one of the kids I heard feedback from, or at least the parent told me they had feedback, and the child was very upfront about telling their parent that, oh, there was a gun in the book. Oh dear. But the parent or the kid knew that it was a potential problem, so they said, no, don't worry, it doesn't kill anybody, so it doesn't hurt anybody. And that's true. So I made sure that this gun in this book, you know, can't tell you if it does kill anybody or not. Maybe it totally does, but no, the child was quite assuring their parents anyways that it was fine and that it was okay to shoot people with this gun. And that's what I wanted to get out of it. I'm glad I met that goal, that I didn't mentally scar any children with it, and that I approached it in an appropriate way, in a way that kids would understand guns are bad, and that this isn't glorifying them in any way, and that it's treating it more, you know, as it should be in this context, in a non, gun way. So anyway, so I left that sufficiently vague to make you think you probably shouldn't buy it. Yeah. It's cute. You should buy it. Now let's look at one of the scenes. So I'm going to show you my artwork, which I don't show anybody. Well, I do, but not typically the internet. So here is one of the pages, fully covered. It's cropped. Yeah, it's not the whole scene, but you can see here it's dark. It's highlighted with lighting on one side. And let's peel away the layers of the effects. So here we go, layer by layer by layer. These scenes are built up, so they're originally painted and look like this. It's flat and bright in it. I actually do the original colors in the original colors. So I have a palette for all the characters. Every guy has their own color. Gerald is always a particular purple, for instance, and the inside of his mouth is even a particular purple, because I figure he has purple insides. And also this guy is, this color. So they're colored as if it's full daylight. Now, how do I get it down to darkness? You got another layer for the environment, which is a dark blue. Because when you go darker colors, it's blue. If you're not paying attention, yeah, it's all blue. So everything gets very blue when you're trying to make things dark. So I layer on a blue right off the bat in a special group layer. And then I put on top of it, starting to do the highlights. The highlights will blow away the blue, and they'll cast their own color of light, because that's the intent. The blue is there for the environment, for anything that doesn't have light. But anything that does have light, there's a separate layer on top of that is that light. It's going to overlay on top of it and clear it out. But since that's all in a group, it's all going to get merged, applied as a light source instead, and it'll have that natural effect. So you can get this book on Amazon, Indigo, Barnes & Noble, whatever bookstores are still in business these days. They're all online. You can go get them, or you can even probably go into the stores and ask for them to be ordered. Not typically on the shelves, because you guys got to make me famous so that they put me on the shelves, okay? So please buy at least 100 copies each. That's probably how I'll get on the bestseller list. Yeah, I need your help. So I appreciate that. Also, you guys, can I hit this without looking? Nope. Thank you guys so much for following me, subscribing to me, because we hit 1,000 followers X number of days ago, and I really appreciate it. Didn't expect to hit this. Actually, I started with like 30 followers, my friends, and when I would post a video, I would get like 7 views. So 30 friends, or 7 friends. Anyways, I really appreciate all of you guys that are genuinely interested in the content, and I appreciate you guys watching it, following me, subscribing to me, commenting on the videos. I really appreciate getting that connection with you guys, building this community, and I want to grow it, of course. So I really appreciate engaging with this community, following you guys, and talking to you guys. No matter what you post, I've had negative comments, positive comments. I enjoy replying to all of them. Of course, sometimes the negative comments catch me off guard, but I think I'm happy with how I responded to them. We haven't had any dramas yet. So please keep watching my videos. I really appreciate it. It really helps me to continue going and tells me that I'm on the right track. Please tell your friends about Neverdot. Tell them about my channel, about my website. Check out the books. I've got 3 books now. The 4th book is in the pipeline. It's currently being colored. So story's already been written. Needs to be a second edit passed, but it's in progress. To be notified of the 4th book when it comes out, you can go on my mailing list, I suppose. I send that out about once or twice a year. I do not spam anyone because I am really bad about sending that out regularly. So you will maybe get notified about it if you are on my newsletter, which you can find on my website. Also, just watch this channel. I'll definitely post a video about my 4th book about 8 months after I release it. So there's that. That'll be on my website, the first place probably, and Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. I also hope you enjoyed the fact that I didn't do any edits or jump cuts. This was all just one cut. Nothing changed. I never had to stop it and resume at any point. So yeah, this was enjoyable. I liked doing the single cut without having to do edits and stuff and take out stuff like coughing, and the fact that I didn't have any water, you know, was fine. And it doesn't really matter if I do cuts here and there, but I didn't. It's all one straight away. So yeah, good video. Good video. Thank you for watching this video and bearing with me as I mumbled my way through a lot of my lines that I did not memorize in advance, as was obvious from the lack of good sentence structure. I hope you liked the greater authenticity of Neverdot. And until next time, see you guys later. Bye.